Admit it, you would like to see into the future, wouldn't you? What kind of world awaits us? You don't want to know? How will we live, get around, and travel outside the city? What futuristic gadgets will surround us and seem the most ordinary to us? Let's dive into the world of incredible technologies and amazing concepts of the future. Are you ready? I'm Nick, and welcome to the world of the future. But first, another giveaway! Watch this video to the end to find out the rules of the contest. $50 certificate will go to the winner that we'll announce in our following videos. So be sure to subscribe and keep an eye for updates. And now, let's get it. If Elon Musk is right and the future's all about Mars, then NASA's Maggie project is a big deal for all of us. Imagine a drone with 14 rotors and solar panels all over it. That's Mars Aerial and Ground Intelligent Explorer, i.e. Maggie. It's designed to zoom around Mars, taking off and landing vertically thanks to some fancy airflow tech called CoFlow Jet. It's super fast, can lift a ton, and travel pretty far, up to 110 miles or 180 kilometers on a full battery, which would take 7.5 Martian days or sols to charge. It can cover around 10,000 miles or 16,000 kilometers per Martian year. Maggie's set to uncover Mars's secrets like how its core formed or where its methane comes from, and it's going to map out where to find water ice below the surface. The team behind it is pumped, but there's still a lot to do and test before Maggie's ready to actually take on Mars. Check out Mansory's flying supercar. It's a game changer if we've ever seen one. Flying cars are getting popular, but none really match the cool futuristic vibes we're dreaming about since movies like Back to the Future and The Fifth Element. Then this German company known for tricking out luxury cars comes up with the M5, a concept flying car that they hope to make real. This baby doesn't have wheels. It doesn't just fly, it floats, even when it's parked. It looks like it's made from this sleek hydrocarbon fiber with windows that offer a panoramic view, much like the uber cool ones you see in top-end Mercedes and Lamborghinis. Whether we'll actually see these flying wonders isn't sure yet, but Mansory is showing us that our whole idea of driving and what we expect from future cars is evolving. And they're not stopping here either. They're planning on rolling out modified versions of the Rolls-Royce Spectre, Lamborghini Revuelto, and Ferrari Persang in 2024. Sure, they'll have wheels, but Mansory's hinting at some fresh designs. What do you think cars will look like in 2050? Huh? Leave your comments below. Another space, or almost space, project in our top wow list is the Excelsior travel capsule from Space Perspective. The work on it has been going on for about 10 years, and finally, the largest spaceship in the world, as its developers call it, is preparing for its first commercial flight with passengers on board in 2025. The tourist space flight system is called Neptune and consists of two parts, the Excelsior capsule itself and the giant space balloon. First, the marine spaceport Voyager will take Neptune to the high seas, where it will be inflated and lifted into the air. 8 passengers and the ship's captain in a luxury capsule with a bar, Wi-Fi, amenities, and even a space spa will ascend to an altitude of 20 miles or 30 kilometers above Earth, which is not even close to the edge of space, but still allows you to see the curve of the planet or prove the Earth is flat. Either way, this thing is going up, and when it comes down and lands, they will be picked up by the same ship. The flight speed is about 12 miles or 20 kilometers per hour, which seems kind of low, and the time of the entire flight is 6 hours. And despite the fact that tourists will not be able to experience weightlessness, the company has already sold 1,700 tickets at a price of $125,000 each. The Excelsior capsule itself, which is still not a real spaceship, has a diameter of almost 16 feet or 5 meters and promises passengers a smooth and comfortable flight that requires no preparation. Space Balloon, by the way, is actually ready and tested. Excelsior is in its final test stage. The company has a factory for production of carbon composites with process control, materials testing lab, and a hangar for capsule assembly. Space Perspective has also developed onboard electrical and power systems, software, flight control, environmental control, and life support systems, including atmospheric and thermal. Would you like to take a ride in such a capsule, or should the flight be at least to the edge of space? Let us know in the comments below. We'll read them and get back to you. This gadget is more fun than real or actually useful. We do, however, appreciate the idea and the enthusiasm of the inventor. How about a flying umbrella that will follow you wherever you go? The creator of the gadget is the author of the I Build Stuff channel, and he had to work hard to get a relatively stable structure from 3D printed parts. Clearly, this is essentially a drone that flies over your head, but to create it, the developer had to go through a series of trials and errors. Once a cross-shaped structure and propellers were printed out of carbon fiber, the flight controller and electrical stability circuitry was installed. The inventor soldered wires to the circuit, which can adjust the speed of the motor so that the umbrella doesn't fly away in light wind and follows the person, relying also on GP. If it's really windy though, forget about it. In the future, the developer is considering adding a camera and programming the flying umbrella so that it follows the user autonomously, without the need to maneuver with a controller in their hands. The obvious question here is, if you're already carrying a controller, why not just carry the umbrella? Moving on, super yacht projects appear regularly, but Migaloo's M5 is probably the most innovative yet. It's a 550 feet or 165 meter super yacht that is also a submarine, while carrying a couple of smaller submarines and an aircraft. Migaloo claims that the M5 is equipped with all the necessary backup systems as well as equipment to help prepare and protect all passengers in case of any emergencies on the surface or underwater. To maintain a sense of luxury, the super yacht is equipped with 2 helipads and a flying vehicle hangar. There will be room for helicopters, drones, hot air balloons, SUVs, and so on. And all of this will be safely stored when the M5 goes underwater. All in all, it's a whole luxury villa cruising the seas and oceans almost like Captain Nemo. The appearance and set of options are chosen by the owners, custom made of course. There can be equipment and gear for all kinds of water and non-water sports, long hikes on land, as well as little things like satellite TV, Wi-Fi on the surface and underwater, interactive entertainment rooms, and open-air movie theaters. When night falls, the light show begins as the M5 Migaloo glows fluorescent green in the dark. With so many things on board, it only needs a petting zoo, a carnival, and a time machine. Alloy Design proposed an unusual concept for the future. EV involves installing electric car charging ports directly into street lamps. At the same time, the street lights themselves do not necessarily need to be reinstalled, but can be retrofitted to those that are already installed on city streets. Each lantern will have 2 charging ports as well as a display for controlling the functions. An application will be created for the system in which, among other things, it will be possible to monitor the safety of your car, as the lanterns will be equipped with 2 wide-angle cameras each. The first country to implement EV alloy design is the UK, where word on the street is that gas and diesel engine cars are going to be banned within the next 6 years. So much for Brexit, eh? Many projects of the future are related to space. For example, the first space hotel of the Above Space Company is set to open in 2027. It should have been there 2 years prior to that, but last year the company realized it was a little behind schedule despite multiple tests being scheduled for this year. What they want to build is actually 2 hotels. The first one, Pioneer Station, is designed for only 28, most likely very rich people. It's the one that's scheduled to be operational in 2027. To make visitors more comfortable, gravity will be simulated there, and its strength can be adjusted. The second project is more grandiose. It is called Prometheus, a station designed to accommodate 400 guests at a time. The company claims that the suites in this hotel can be bought and you can actually live in them. The suites themselves, or rather space villas, will have an area of 5,300 feet or 500 square meters, 3 bathrooms and bedrooms for 16 guests. Who's gonna fund this? See, Nick, funny you should ask. The company hasn't reported any major investors. Nevertheless, Above Space will soon begin research on the ISS. The company will test the strength and durability of its patented materials. Samples of the materials will be fixed to panels outside the station to test them in space. Will they withstand the harsh vacuum, solar radiation, extreme temperatures, and encounters with space debris? and the company previously claimed successful tests of its Prometheus orbital propulsion control system, which took place at NASA's Space Flight Center in Huntsville. Would you consider this project to be already off the ground? A completely different approach to the space hotel concept was taken by ACROMNIA Design Studio. And no, it's not a padded room in a mental hospital. The concept is based on the fact that we don't need to replicate the experience we have on Earth and space. On the contrary, if you've made it this far, your experience should be unique in every way. Once at ACROMNIA Hotel, you'll find yourself in a space with no furniture or doors, but it's not empty. All surrounding surfaces are covered with intelligent material that changes shape to create unique spaces. The walls of the hotel envelop the inhabitants. Right from them, you can create transformable partitions, various structures for rest and work. And micropores in the shell provide a flow of sound, light, smell, and air, creating a harmonious interaction with the environment. That is, you enter a pristine space that you can customize yourself. From the outside, the ACROMNIA Orbital Hotel is a network of autonomous units that can function independently or combine into a collective system. Each unit is shaped like a hexagon, making it easy to integrate into larger structures. Living in such a cell, according to the idea of the creators, a person should immerse himself in self-analysis and research. These people clearly haven't heard of Vipassana meditation. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the words White Tower? In any case, residents and tourists in the remote village of Moulins in the Swiss Alps will soon have their own version. It's there that they're building a modern White Tower, the main feature of which is that it's printed on a 3D printer. Not completely, however, but in part. The construction of the first 8 columns of the lower floor of the tower began on February 1st this year with the help of a construction robot. It extrudes soft concrete into multi-layered structures, introducing steel reinforcement in the process. Once assembled, it will become a venue for musical evenings and theater performances alike in the mountainous Julie Pass. The tower is built modularly and assembled with screws rather than glue. Therefore, if desired, it can be disassembled and moved to another location. The White Tower, or Tor Alva, was designed by architects Benjamin Dillenberg and Michael Hansmeyer. The project is implemented by the Technical High School of Zurich. The height of the tower should be 100 feet or 30 meters, which may make it the tallest building in the world printed on a 3D printer. But frankly, given the pace and development of the industry, it won't wear the crown for long. But what really concerns us is another question. Why is this architectural object built in such a tiny village with only a dozen residents and clearly not the most favorable climate conditions for open spaces? Pin your comments and let us know what you think. From the tower, we move on to the ring itself. And you know, it's a real beauty. Samsung Galaxy Ring is the gadget of the future that everyone's been waiting for as long as probably, smart glasses. These gadgets have long been announced and many companies are trying to make it happen, but commercial success is achieved by only a few. This is usually due to a mismatch in price or expectations. The Galaxy Ring was announced at Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked event earlier this year and was only recently shown live at MWC 2024 in Barcelona. It's positioned as a powerful and convenient health and wellness device. The Galaxy Ring connects to your smartphone via Bluetooth and syncs with the Samsung's Health app. If worn 24/7, it will collect as much info as possible about your heart rate, sleep, breathing, and physical activity. But such functions will not surprise anyone, so Samsung added vague promises of its artificial intelligence, personalizing recommendations to help maintain health in the long run to its users. The full list of sensors and features will be announced later. In general, though, if the functionality of the ring remains at the level of a fitness bracelet, the gadget has no chance, in our opinion. It's not that much more comfortable than a bracelet, and nobody really mentioned battery life. What do you guys think? If it could project a 3D object onto a surface, then we're talking breakthrough. Otherwise, let's wait and see. The idea to build an elevator that can quickly and comfortably deliver people into space has been hovering for quite a bit, and the fact that today there's no technology that would do that is clearly not a detriment. After all, the pocket computer once seemed unrealistic. So architect Jordan William Hughes decided not to restrain himself. He says no, AI was not used, and embodied his own vision of such an elevator. The conceptual design implies delivery of tourists and cargo from a multi-purpose ocean platform directly into space. Project Ascensio is not just an elevator, but rather a mixed-use space station that serves both science and entertainment. The most extravagant part of the project is its final destination, namely an asteroid located in Earth's geostationary orbit, to which the entire structure is then attached by cables. The elevator cabin is not a box. On the contrary, it looks like a luxurious hotel room or even a hotel complex. The creator of the project assumes the use of advanced materials such as carbon fiber, carbon nanofene, and amorphous silicon carbide for the platforms and floors of the Ascensio interior, combined with transparent smart glass, which will create a sense of openness and allow maximum enjoyment of the journey beyond the planet. Incidentally, Hughes won a prestigious award for his work in the field of design, and we applaud Hughes, such a brave person he is. Quick side note though, the tech as well as the materials for the project are yet to be widely available, kind of like Sanchesium, or the last minutes of Don't Look Up. On to international concepts now. In China, they're naturally building a train on a magnetic cushion, which recently managed to accelerate in a vacuum tube to a speed of 387 miles or 623 kilometers per hour, the fastest ever to date. In the future, it should reach a speed of 620 miles or 1,000 kilometers per hour, but so far, these numbers are only on paper. And in Saudi Arabia, they decided to shift gears and drop the high tech, but keep super luxury. In the end, you get a train, which will take passengers through some of the most famous UNESCO World Heritage sites. The train is being developed by the Saudi Arabian Railway State Corporation in cooperation with Italian luxury brand company Arsenal Group. The cost of the project is over $53 million. The train itself will consist of 40 luxury cars for 2 people each, as well as a luxury restaurant car and lounge bars. The full length of the route will be 770 miles or 1,239 kilometers, but passengers can spend 1 or 2 nights on the train if they wish. Dream of the Desert departs from Riyadh and passes through Al Qasim, Hale, and the Royal Nature Reserve in Al Juf before arriving in Al Qurayat. The project will be launched as early as 2025, and its creators say it's designed for the new trend of slow and cultural tourism, where the experience of the road comes first. In recent years, Saudi Arabia has been investing piles of money into various projects, hoping to attract tourists from all over the world. For example, the most innovative city of the future is currently under construction there, which we told you about in the video found in the description. And now, time for the giveaway. $50 certificate to the lucky winner, who will be chosen by a random comment picker and of course follows these rules. Here they are. A. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our Instagram account. And B. Answer the following question in the comments. Rolls-Royce has 80% parts from which car manufacturer? Let us know in the comments what you think is the answer, and we shall announce the winner in the following videos. Good luck! Also, we'll have more innovative concepts and gadgets as well as cities of the future in our next episodes. Which concepts do you like the most, and which ones would you like to experience yourself? Share with us in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more news from the world of high tech.